Oh no, I seem to have fallen and broken my arms. Alright, I don't know why I'm speaking in a British accent. But folks, you see what we have here. A Mavic 2 Zoom with a couple of broken arms. Actually, it's not the arms that's broken. They're actually broken out of the shell itself. This will be the mid shell here, which we're going to have to replace. So that really entails taking the entire drone apart. All the boards have to come out and then have to be installed in the grab it here. In the new frame, the new mid frame they call this actually. So let's get started. I got my spludgers. I got my drivers here. We have Phillips hex drivers. There's some Torx drivers here of various sizes, all in the smaller range, something like 1 millimeter to 2 millimeter, somewhere in that range. Oh, what else do I have here? I have a set of tweezers, a little set of jeweler screwdrivers, regular screwdrivers, and then I have a set of small Phillips. Let's get started. Now, I've never taken apart a Mavic 2 Pro or Mavic 2 Zoom before, so you and I are both going to be doing this together for the first time. So hopefully I won't be screwing it up too badly. If I do screw it up, you'll probably never see this video. Anyway, let's get into it. Now, I think we have to take off the... Well, I know I have to take the gimbal off here first. So let's see if we can do that. Let's see here. I think we're going to have to deal with... Yeah. DJI has its little glue in here. They put glue in the heads here of some of these screws, just to see if anybody has monkeyed with the drone for warranty purposes. So we'll get that dug out of there. I'll try not to go off camera, folks. This is a problem I've had in the past. Difficult to do when you're focused on this task here. But I'll make an effort not to. Oh, I forgot to get my organizer. Here we go. Put that there. And we'll start by taking this shield off here. In order to do a job like this, you have to be comfortable with soldering, which I will be doing, desoldering and soldering a little later on. So if you're not comfortable with that task, then I suggest you just farm this out to somebody who knows what you're doing. Maybe send it to DJI, although they would probably charge you quite a bit. Now, how does this come off here? Let's see. Yep. I think I got it. Slides out of here somehow or another. There. Okay, just be careful you don't break these little tabs here. And I will put this here in the first slot. Now, where's our screws at? I see 2 up here and 2 down in here. Let's see. I also see, I think one of these has to be detached. It might be this one here, but we'll see. Let's take these 2 top screws out first. I need a pair of tweezers for this. Well, maybe not. Let's see. There we go. Drop that into our second slot there. By the way, this is a way you can actually replace this zoom camera with a Pro camera, the Hasselblad camera, if you wanted to. You could do it. This is the way you would do it. Now there's two screws that looks like down in here. I'm going to take these out. And this other one here is going to come out. And this whole assembly should lift out. Once again, I've never taken one of these apart, so there is our. This is a ribbon cable that has to come off. Let me just flick it off of my fingernail. There we go, and that's as easy as that. We'll just set this aside safely over here. I do believe we have to take this front mask off, so let's remove these two screws here. And we'll see how this comes off. Not really sure. We'll look at that later. I'm going to take these screws here off the bottom piece. Let me check to make sure I don't have I might have the SD card. Here it is. Take that out. Folks, this was a drone that I purchased on eBay to do a video. This is what I do with most of my, it's where I get most of my drones for video. As I buy them from eBay. Crashed. Try to get them at the best price I can. I tried to get a Mavic Pro, or Mavic 2 Pro, but they were just too pricey. And the ones I saw on eBay were so smashed up, but they were still very pricey. So smashed up that it would have been a difficult repair. This one came along and it was a relatively decent price, and I could see that the repair, I should be able to do the repair. We'll see. Like I said, this is the first time I'm doing something like this. I did a Mavic Pro, the earlier version, in previous videos, and I'm hoping that the process will be very similar to what we're going to have to do with this one, but we'll see. I'm going to drop this SD card over there. One thing I want to be careful of is the various ribbon cables inside here. Many of these ribbon cables are not available or very difficult to get. So I don't want to tear them. Alright, let's lift this off here. Should be able to ease it off, and I think there may be a connection here. Yes, there is. You can see where the connection is here. Right there. So we're going to pop that off. Just use my fingernail, set that aside, and there's our main logic board right there. Alright, I see some cables that we're going to have to undo. Antenna cable, this goes up to the obstacle avoidance here on the rear, I believe. This one I'm not sure. This one looks like it goes to the ESC board, but we'll find out. I have to figure out how this mask comes off here. I don't know whether it's just snapped in like most of this DJI drones. Probably is. I don't know how to unsnap it. I'm going to break it. Oh, it is really in there. try our spludger here. Actually, that worked pretty easily. Okay. Now, to remove this core board, let's see what we have to do. I'm going to start popping off these cables here. This one here is first. Not sure I'm doing this in the right order, but it seems to be what you need to do. That off. There's one antenna over here. Let's pop that off. And we got the white one over here. Let's pop that off. It's got a couple of little clips here, which is nice for holding the cable in. And we're going to need to pop off the connector for the rear obstacle sensors. That comes off just like that. And it looks like we have some Phillips heads here that have to be removed. Let's see. Start with the one up front that I see has to be removed. I'm going to put that in this bin there. And I see two back here. And these little ones here, I'm not sure. I have to see whether are they actually holding in the board too. No, they're not. See, I was going to take these out here, but they're actually not holding the board in. They're holding something underneath the board. So let's see if we can carefully pop this out of here. It is loose. Clear everything out of the way here. Being very careful here. Let's see what I got underneath. Remove that. I have to slide it out. I may have a cable underneath there. I gotta be careful. I don't see any. Yeah, something is definitely holding it in here. So, what do we have here? Nope, we're clear. All right, so that's how it comes out. You got your fan there. Set that aside. And that's your ESC board right there, the bottom side of it anyway. Okay. It's these cables here I want to be careful of. We need to remove these because we're going to replace this entire midframe. So they will have to come off. And they're kind of stuck to it, you know, with their adhesive. All right, let's flip it around here. Actually, let's not. We want to get some more screws to remove here in order to get the top piece off. Starting with these two here. Drop those in there. As you can see, the way it broke, the pivot points here for the arms are actually still in the arms. So I'm going to push these out just like that, and the screws are actually still in there. I'll just leave it the way it is. This one is the left. It actually is marked with an L. So you're not going to be able to go wrong. And let's drop this into another bin. We'll push this one out. And we'll drop it in there. Incidentally, these do have washers now. One of them was missing. And let me go grab them here. Because I want to put these washers with those parts so I don't forget them. Now, these are what they call thrust washers, I believe, and they go just above the hinge point there of the arm. Now I have one, if I can pick it up here. You can see these are impossible to get. Now the other one was missing because the arm had broken completely out on the other arm, so it had fallen out. Let's drop this in there. And I called around and I emailed various suppliers and they said, well, they don't seem to sell those. They're probably not needed. Well, I kind of disagree. I have a feeling, oops, I just dropped one. I have a feeling they are needed in order to get stable, dropping everything here. Stable flight out of the drone. We don't want any looseness in the arms here. So my son, let me grab that one I dropped. It goes to Penn State. He's an engineering major. Has access to a 3D printer. So I gave him the dimensions of the washer, and he was able to 3D print me out a new washer, and there it is right there. So that's going to be what's to replace the missing one. Let's drop that in there. And once again, these are possible to get. You just can't find them anywhere. I have several more here. He made several different thicknesses. Cool. You could, I had to sand them down to get them to the right thickness. So we'll put that in there. So many thanks to my son for helping out with this. I'd be working together with him because he likes to do this kind of stuff, but unfortunately my shop is so small, it's difficult for the two of us to get in here and not be stepping over each other. Okay, those screws are out. Let's see, are there any other places where we had to remove screws from below here? I don't know. Well, let's go top side here. And we'll see. Similar in design, I believe, to the old Mavic Pro. These screws have to come out here in the battery compartment. There's 4 of them there. And I see 2 back here. Let's remove those. By the way, I did test this drone to make sure that I wasn't just wasting my time here, that it would work when all this was done. And I was able to connect up to the app and was able to produce a video, so I did check that beforehand. Let's see if we can pop this up here. Let's see how this comes up. Hopefully I don't have to replace this top piece. It doesn't look like I have to, because it didn't seem to sustain any damage. Let me make sure I have no more screws here. All right, I don't see any more. Let's see. Maybe we can use the spludger tool here again. Pull up on this here as much as I can. Again, it's just a matter of working through this here. Get the tool underneath here. We'll see if we can disengage these plastic clips. We got that side partially disengaged. Let's see if we can work on this side here. Careful all the way around. I don't want to do any damage to the assembly back here, the obstacle avoidance assembly, so we're going to just do this carefully. Pop it off as we go along. There we go. Sounds like you're breaking this, but you really aren't. And I should do this. Alright. There we go. Now we have a rubber gasket thing here. You can see, actually, this is interesting. It looks like this was out of place or out of whack. Might have been, you can see how it's crunched up there. This might have been assembled improperly. How about that? There. Okay. We'll have to put that back on. Interesting. See how that goes. It goes somehow like that. Over top. Yeah, interesting. Not the way that was. There. Huh. Okay, I believe it goes on. Just testing to see how this goes on here, folks. I think it goes on like that. Yeah. Interesting. Looks like it was a bit of a defect there on DJI's part. I don't think this drone has ever been apart, so interesting. Okay. Whoops, and we're going to pop that in over there. Okay, so now we see the rear obstacle avoidance sensors here. We have the GPS module up here. All right, let's see here. What has to come out? Well, I know this has to come out, along with the forward sensors. So let's go ahead and unscrew this. We have to get these cables disconnected. Whoop, I just dropped the screw. There it is. Let's put this in over here. Right there. This little piece should come up. Probably got some sticky on it. Alright, what are we stuck to here? Yeah, we got some sticky on it. It's like up front here. There we go. Set that in there. And we can detach these cables. These are for the forward obstacle avoidance sensors. Pop those off. Pop those off. Okay. And we can. There's another one that needs to be popped off here too. It's this one here. Okay. Gonna take these screws out. I'm really dropping stuff today. They look like they were all the same size, I believe. Okay, we should be able to just carefully get this out. There it is. There's your IMU down there. And your GPS right there. Set this aside. See, these are the cables we're going to have to transfer over very carefully. Probably going to be the most difficult part of this, is moving these cables over and getting them in place. I'm going to remove the front obstacle avoidance sensors. I'm trying to stay within the camera field here. Alright, we'll drop that in there. There, and we can lift these out, and these will go right in there. Okay, next we have to remove the rear obstacle avoidance sensors. I see two screws here. One and two. And is that the only ones? All right. And we'll carefully lift that out just like that. I'm going to drop that in right there to that bin. All right. Now, see what we have here. You have your motor leads. You have your LED leads. I see a ribbon cable there. And this is the antenna cables here, the white and the black on this side. Let's see where this ribbon cable goes here. Now I think it may be time to fire up the soldering iron and start removing these arms. First, we're going to take a break.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, we're back, folks. I did grab my phone and just sort of took a quick picture of the wiring here. It's probably not necessary to do that. They do actually have these labeled. Here is a W for white, B for black, and G for gray, and then over here you can see here the same thing. Well, maybe you can't see there, but underneath these wires there are letters too for the motor leads. So you're not going to get them mixed up. But just for the heck of it, I took a picture anyway. I'm sure there's information online too, which will allow you to look this up. All right, I got my soldering iron heated up here. And it's heated up to 750 degrees. See how that works out. I'm going to grab some more solder here. It always helps to put a little bit of extra solder on your tip when you're doing this. There we go. Now let's see if we can get these wires detached. We'll start with this one here. DJI has these nice little clips here that hold the wires, which is a good thing here. We'll start with this one here. Comes off just like that. Now this is the LED lead. Let's see if we can pop this one out here. Should pop all these out first, perhaps. Just like so. There we go. Let's see if we can get this one out. This one next. This is the gray. Okay. There's a black motor lead here. This is the black LED lead. White motor lead. You know, I'm going to take this one off first because this one, I don't want to touch this with the soldering iron, so we'll remove the white LED lead next. And then we'll take the last motor lead out here. There. Okay. Now we should be able to pull this yellow antenna wire up through here. Like so. You can notice to where this goes through. And then we can pull this arm out. And there we go. The arm's undamaged. I mean, I don't have to replace these, it looks like. The motors do spin up too, so I think we're going to be okay with that. All right, let's do the same thing on the other side. First, we'll pull the wires out of their holders. Hopefully you can see this on the camera. I'm going to try to avoid zooming in. Let's zoom in here for this one. Because what happens is I forget to zoom out. And then you're not seeing anything when I go to do something else here. So I'm going to turn it. I'm going to tip the camera up a little bit. So maybe you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully that's got it. I'm going to turn the drone around this way because I am right-handed and it just feels more natural for me to do it this way. Start with this LED lead first. Get a little bit more solder on here. Yeah, see, I'm already walking off the camera. I can see it. All right. Take that off. I'll also just go ahead and take these LED leads off first. Like that off. Okay, those are off, and then we'll take the motor leads off. All right. Now we'll zoom back out with the camera. Hope you're able to see that clearly. Move it over slightly. I'll need to get my big belly in there. Yes, I actually said that. Now we're going to pull this black antenna wire out. Again, we got to make note of how that was routed. And I see how it was routed. Pull that out. Okay, we got our other leg out. Now for the back legs. Put a little more solder on here. I'll start by popping these wires out of their holders. And we have glue on these, so I'll have to remove that. Probably want to remove all that glue later because we're going to put some fresh silicone glue on that. Okay, let's give this a shot here. First we'll take the motor leads off. These LED leads will be next. Okay, that one's free. Now I'm going to turn this around here. Be careful not to touch those leads from the other arm there. That one, and then this little black one here. I'm having trouble grabbing it with this tweezers. Let me see if I can find another one that might work better. Let's see if these will work better. Okay. Well, I think that's it, at least for now, for the soldering iron, so I'm going to turn it off. And we can pull these. There's a holder here that's part of the back leg pivot that we can pull these wires out of. Pull those out of there. Looks like the ESC just held in with 3 screws. And we see here's this cable here. I need to carefully get this off. Alright, it's off. Carefully pull that off. And that is free. Okay, we can probably leave that connected to the ESC board, which is gets connected right there. You don't see any other cables, so let's just go ahead and remove that. Drop those screws in there. Now let's see. I don't see anything else holding it in. I'm going to be careful of this cable. Let's route that around there like that. Just some glue, and there it is. That's your ESC board. Let's set that over there. And we have these rear leg or rear arm I see a screw here. Yeah, let's flip this one up here. There's 2 screws here, so let's go ahead. I think we're going to need to get a smaller tip. No, this is a star bit. Okay. That is a small star bit. Well, let's find a small one that's going to work. I don't know if this one is the right size. I don't think it is. Nope, it's something smaller than that. I'm not sure I have one in this assortment that's small enough. That's a Phillips there. Alright, so I do have another assortment of bits, let's say. Might be in here. Looks like it might be this one here. There it is. Alright. Good thing I have a couple different assortments of these. We'll need to take this out. Drop that in there. Take this out. We'll need to free this cable up here so that we can pull the leg off. Same thing on this side, make sure the cable's free. Let's see how this comes out here. I think it'll come off. I think. Unless there's 2 screws, is there? No, I only see 1, so. Alright folks, I was able to pry these legs out just by using a screwdriver. Make sure you fold them up into this position though before you go to pry them, because they have a tab here that needs to come out in this orientation. So you fold it up like that, and I just took a screwdriver and pried them, and they came out quite easily. Just didn't want to break anything. They wanted to double check to make sure that that was all that needed to be done. Now I've removed the screws to this back leg socket here. I'm going to actually remove this hinge point, if you want to call it that, or hinge. And we're going to sort of wiggle this out. I'm going to transfer it over to the new frame. All we have really to do is then transfer this ribbon cable right here over to the new frame. We can start putting stuff in the new frame. So this should come out somehow. Alright, we'll push it from that way and finagle it out just like that. We're going to transfer it right over to the new frame. See if we can get it down in there. Almost have it. There, that's in. You heard it snap in there. Go ahead and put the screws back in. So this is a brand new frame, so the screws are going to go in tight. We do want to be careful too as we're handling this frame. It is, you know, without anything around it, it's a little bit flimsy. You can actually squish it and possibly break something. So I'm trying to just be careful with it. See if I can find a better screwdriver. Better fitting screwdriver. Make sure these are tightened down all the way. Alright, let's take this other one out. This is one heck of a puzzle piece to snap in here. Again, here's where you don't want to break anything, but just, yep, there we are. This little satisfying snap there. Speaking of not breaking anything, I'm actually going to take and we'll peel this protective cover off here, and we'll clip this in there so it's not hanging out like that. There. Okay. And let's fish these wires back in here. Oh, did I get the wrong? Let's see. Yep. All right. Wrong leg. Fish these wires back through with the right leg. Does feel like they have a little bit of lubrication on that that hinge point there. I can feel it on my fingers. Okay, that one's in. By the way, I got this mid-frame from Cloud City Drones. It's where I seem to be able to get most of my parts from. Sometimes you have to go to eBay to get certain parts. I'll leave a link to the actual part in the comments section. The wires were pulled through, and we'll just push that in all the way, and they are in. And let's get those screws. We'll put them back in. I can feel that lubricant on my fingers there. These two little screws here go in. It's in there good and tight. There it is. Okay. And there's our legs. Thank goodness no damage occurred to any of these legs. And pretty much anywhere else. The gimbal, everything is fine except for this mid-frame where it broke. Fortunately, that is something that, you know, requires the most amount of work to replace, but it's all right. It's going to give me the experience and make a nice little video for you guys. And I'm going to take a break now. I'll wash my fingers off here, maybe grab some lunch, and we'll be right back. You need to switch over this ribbon cable right here. So let's see if we can get that off. Okay. Came out fairly easily. And we're just going to stick it back in here. Should be right about there. Easy enough. Anything else we have to transfer over? I don't think so. I think that's it. We'll set this aside for now. We can get this ESC board here. We can work with this next. This needs to drop in here. Just like that. Let's get our screws here. You might be able to hear my stomach gurgling now from my lunch that I had. That tightened in there. Okay, let's tighten down. Now we can feed our wires through. I do know that this first clip here actually gets the motor wires. We'll clip that in there. And then it gets fed down. And then these can go in the second clip. I might want to put these in first. You know, let's see. I think we'll put these in first. This is the LED leads. They go down into the clip. And then your motor wires go down into that same clip. This is to keep everything in place and to keep you from pinching any of these wires. If you go to put the frame together or the top piece on. Let's get this down in there. Alright, that's in. Just like that. The same thing with this one. Make sure your leads are pulled all the way through, or we're going to put them in this clip here. And go in that first clip. And we'll bring our LED leads down and put them in the second clip along with the motor wires. Oops, motor wires came out of the first clip. Get them back in there. Okay. Alright, they're in place. And actually, we might not even need this much. Alright, we're going to have to... We got too long of a length of these LED leads here. I'm going to back these off a little bit. We just want to solder these in first. Let's turn our soldering iron back on here. Our white lead goes in first. Get a better solder joint there. I don't like that joint. Okay, and we have the black lead here. And the gray one is last. Alright, we'll fish that into the second clip here. That's where that goes, down in there. Do a slightly better job of soldering there on that one. Alright, let's get these wires routed through here. It goes in the first clip, it's going to go in the second clip. Let's make sure we... Okay, make sure there's enough wire there that we can pivot that. Now, okay, let's see, the white one goes here. Actually, you might need to remove that because you don't need that much wire there. Okay, we'll push the white one down into its clip right here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And then the gray goes in the middle. A little too much length of gray there. It's a little too long. So we'll back off a little bit on it. And then the black one goes here. Yeah, you can see what that looks like. We'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, looks like that. Now what I'm going to also do is I'm going to put a little bit of silicone glue here to hold these LED wires because they had glue there before. Let's see what we have here. Oops. Some right there and some here. There we are, like that. All right, what's next here? Well, let's see. Not sure what order we should do this in. You put the front legs on. And we could also put the GPS unit in. Let's see, maybe we'll do that now. It's going to go in like that. Does have like little knobs to key it in there. See why we can't put that in now. You know what? Maybe not. Maybe we'll do that after we put the front legs in. Let's see here. Let's see about these front legs here. Let's see here. That's the right one. It's going to go in like that. This will, oops, I'm going to be careful I don't get that in the silicone glue. It's going to go down here. In that area. Yeah, let's see here. This is the left one. This is the right one. We're going to get our washer, our 3D printed washer. Let's take this screw out here. This is the screw that was in there. So it was a broken piece of the original frame on it. Get rid of that. Gonna set that there. Let's turn this over here and we'll flip this up. And we need to finagle this in here. I say finagle because I'm not quite sure how to do it. Let's see here. I think we got to preload this first. Let's see. Something like that, I think. To slip our little washer in there. Yeah, that needs to go. Yeah, it might need to go in first. All right. All right. I think that's how it's supposed to go. We'll put the screw back in. Let's see which one is it. It goes in. I have these covers here. Oops. Why am I dropping everything today? All right, so that little screw goes in the back one here. Yes, okay. Put these in here for now. And where did the original black washer get to? that's over here in this bin. Set that there. All right, and there you go. Fold this up, and you can just fold that up, and we're good to go. All right, let's go ahead and we'll put the other one in. There. And once again, we're dropping everything. I wish I had a larger workbench here. It would help. You know, I need to get that washer. There it is. Take this screw out. Still screwed into the original chunk of mid-frame here. And we'll need to preload this. Set that screw over there. When I say preload, we just need to turn it right in the center, about 45 degrees. Oh, and then it snaps back. We don't want that to happen. Try to get it so it stays in place. All right, hopefully that stays there. And we need to get our washer in here. That lined up. This is not an easy task, folks. It's just not. It's just awkward. There we go. And we should be in there. There. Let's get our screw in here. I forgot this small screwdriver is not magnetic for whatever reason. All right. It's tightened all the way down. And there's our other arm. Perfect. Now we can go ahead and route these wires here. This white one's going to go down in here. And out through that way. I do believe we've got that right. Let's get our wires in place here. As you might have guessed, folks, this takes patience. Alright, let's see. There's the white LED. It's going to go here. You know what? I might put the motor leads in first, because the LED leads might get in the way. I mean, the motor leads might get in the way. Let's do these first. Alright, that's the black. And that's the gray. Yeah, we'll do the motor leads first, because I don't want to accidentally melt the motor leads when I'm trying to put the LED or solder the LED leads on. Alright. Go ahead and put some solder on this. Let's see, I'll try to use my left hand here with this. Need some more solder. A lot more solder. Let's see if we can do it this way. This is the way you're really supposed to do it. Alright. I have a feeling it's supposed to be in like that, but I'm not sure. Alright, so we have the white one here. Black is in the middle. And then the gray is on here on this end. You're grabbing stuff again. let's do the other side. Alright folks, that's what it looks like. I'm not really the super solderer, but I do enough to get by. Alright, let's see here. What's next? Well, I think we're done with the soldering here, so I can turn the soldering iron off. Let's go ahead and put that GPS unit in. Seated down there, and where's our screws at for that? They are over here. Sure that's seated properly. Okay, that's in. Clip down our connection to the main board here. Should we get that lined up properly here? Come on. There we go. Now let's get our front obstacle avoidance sensors and get them in. these connectors on before I screw it completely down. There we go. They go on pretty easily. There we go. Alright, we'll get this on. This goes on just like this. Little screws here. I'm going to use the other screwdriver, which is magnetic. All right, I'll tell you what, folks, we are humming right along here. That's all done. Now we can put in our obstacle avoidance sensors here on the rear. Just 2 screws for that. Fish this connector down in there. Get these wires out of the way. Wires are still in the way. Okay. that's in. Turn it over here. What do we got left in here? All kinds of screws here. That's going to be for the top. Not sure I want to put that in just yet. Let's find the main board here, see if we can slip this in. I think that's what would be next. See if we can get, we have to get these cables out and clear of it. And this cable have to go in there. Okay, that's in. That cable's clear. This cable needs to come up here. Oh, we have to get this cable up here too. For the obstacle avoidance. Here, let me get that. Maybe we should go this way first. Clear the obstacle avoidance cable. Okay, that's in. This stupid little styrofoam pieces. Not sure what that is. Let's clear this out of the way. So that goes in. And we got to get this up and clear. All right. And this one here, let's get this clear again. Okay. All right. Sorry folks, the camera battery died, but we're up and running again. Where were we here? We have 2 screws there, 1 screw up front. Alright, let's see if we can get this cable, these cables snapped in first. And this one here, get that to line up properly. Which isn't always the easiest thing to do with these cables. There. That one's in. And this one needs to be snapped in. Line it up and snap it in here. That one's in. You want to get the obstacle avoidance one in here. Alright, that snapped in pretty easily. Let's get our white antenna lead connected up here. We're going to need to grab a little more length there. There we go. That's in. We have our other black antenna lead here. Let's get that in. That's in. Now our screws here for putting the main board in. I think of these little silver ones here. If I'm not mistaken. Oops, where'd that go? Here it is. All right. Now, let's see, can we put this bottom on next? I think we can. Make sure we're not missing anything or forgetting anything. I don't think we are. Okay, let's get this cable connected up here. I like to use my finger because I can get a real feel for when these things are seated. So that I know when to press down, snap it in. Okay, that's in. Well, one thing we do not want to forget is, do we have the gaskets in here? They are still there? Okay, yeah, the gaskets are there. Those are the gaskets that surround these obstacle avoidance sensors, or the downward sensors, I should say. Okay, we can get this in there. Okay. Snapped in there okay, I do believe. A little bit of trouble getting this down all the way. Not sure why. hex driver here. To worry about any heatsink materials, unlike on the Mavic Pro. The bottom actually was acted as a heatsink, and you had to have the heatsink material, make sure it was on there. This doesn't actually work that way. All right. Look at that, there it is. Now, what are we going to need to do next here? Let's see. I think we need to put the top on. Once again, just winging this, folks. You're winging it with me. Okay, this needs to go on. Got an extra screw here. Set that over there. A lot of these screws are the same. Doesn't really matter if you get them mixed up from what's below when the screw goes on the top. That's going to sit like that, like it wasn't there before. Now, I just want to make sure I'm double checking myself all the time here. I'm going to just go ahead and dump this out because we're going to need this in a minute. Hope that stays there. Stay put. All right. Oh, look at that, folks. Looking like a drone again. Let's take these pieces off here. Go ahead and put these screws in. Okay, that's tight. And we'll put two in the back here. Alright, now we have a couple up front here. These two. That didn't bite into anything, or all right. That one might be actually. Well, let's try it. This one here. That one tightens. Okay, that's good. All right. Now the front mask, I believe we can put on. Actually, you know, let's put these pieces on here. These are special little miniature screws. They're a bit smaller. It's these right here that I saved. I actually found one. There was one was missing, but I had a kit of a bunch of screws. DJI screws, which is handy to have. This one goes on here. Figure out how to snap these in. Probably go more like that. go. And this special smaller screw goes here. I was missing one of these pieces too, folks. I did have to order it from Cloud City Drones. That's in. We'll put our screw in here. Okay, we can put our mask on here. There's 2 screws in for that. Now let's put our gimbal back in. I'll get it connected up here first. Our 4 screws for that. All right. Put our last little piece on here. These are actually machine screws here. Look at that. No parts left over except for the extra washers that were 3D printed. Alright, let's put these back in here. I never know. I need to use them on something else because you can't get them. Pause for a break here, folks, and then we'll bring you back and we'll get this thing fired up and we'll see if it works.
A few minutes later.
Pop the battery in here. We'll see what we got. We got the camera going there, so that's a good sign. Yeah, we are good to go. I can tell already. As soon as we get that DJI sound, that means the motors are all working and ESCs are working. Yeah, let's bring up the app here. And we are ready to go. We'll format the... Actually, I don't need to format the card. I'll format it. Alright, and format internal storage. Oops, sorry, I'm off camera. I got no warnings whatsoever. Compass is good. We'll calibrate the compass. You know what? I want to calibrate the IMU. Let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to fold this up here while we do this. And we'll calibrate the IMU while it's still cold. Probably the best time to do that. Let's see, bring it there. And settings, sensors, calibrate IMU. And we'll start. Set it that way. See how the process goes. We're calibrating the IMU. It's going to ask us to move the drone and place it in various positions. It's like we're still calibrating. Alright, we're going to put it in that position there. Just like that.
Addy mode.
Getting magnetic interference.
Addy mode.
Probably because of the light that's here. So we'll make sure we calibrate that compass before we take off.
Addy mode.
Set it up like that. And we'll set it like this.
Addy mode.
Any mode, any mode, any mode. All right. Restart it. See if the motors fire up here. Hey, there we go. All right. Let's take it out for a spin.
Several days later.
All right, folks, as usual, I've chosen an interesting, if not dangerous, place to test fly this drone. Dangerous because if this thing goes down, I'm probably not going to get it. Let's put this up in air and I'm going to show you why. All right, now it's a go. Let's put her up here. Let's see, we are in C mode, and here you're going to see why in a moment that this little town is deserted. Folks, this is the abandoned town of Frick's Lock. And you're going to see here in a second why it was abandoned. That right there is the Limerick nuclear power generation station. Philadelphia Electric came along here, I believe it was in the late 60s, maybe mid 60s. Told the folks here at this little village of Frick's Lock, hey, we're going to build a nuclear plant here. And the folks said, hey, wait, what? So what happened was, after some negotiation, they ended up buying every house in this village. And in 1974, the construction was started there at the power plant. I'm going to raise it up a little higher. Now we're going to test the zoom function here. Let's see. Okay, we can zoom out. We can zoom in. Oh, hey, cool, that's neat. But a Mavic 2 zoom has a mechanical zoom, not digital. I'm filming in 4K, so there is a digital option too. If I was in 1080p, for example, I could zoom further in with the digital option. But since I'm in 4K, I can't do that. So let's back out here on the zoom. There we go. And we'll turn the drone around. I'm not going to take any chances with this here because, like I said, if this goes down, this area is heavily gated off. There's a little town of Frick's Lock. You can see the houses there. Exelon Energy is what is now known, was what Pico used to be. It's now known as Exelon Energy, I should say. Has purchased this land, of course, back when they bought out the good folks here at Frick's Lock by eminent domain. They do allow tours here. They do maintain the facility. Let me swing the drone around here a little bit. A few times in the summertime, like on weekends, they'll offer tours. You can sign up for it. There's a fee involved. I don't know what it is. Let's fly over here a little bit, and then boy, I would love to come down. Look at that house with it has no roof on it. I'm going to slide it to the left a little bit, and we're going to use the zoom. Oh, cool! Look at that. Pretty neat. We'll zoom it back out here. Gotta watch out for those wires. We're 251 feet in height. I think we're okay to clear those wires. I may raise it up a little bit more. And we'll continue on. We should be up and over those wires. We're at 321 feet. Let's see if we can pitch the gimbal down and zoom into those houses there. Pitch the gimbal up a little bit. Very cool. All right, we'll zoom back out. And we'll follow the drone a little more this way. I'm going to pitch the gimbal up a little bit. And we'll go a little bit this way. There's only about maybe, I don't know, 7, 8 houses here. The village wasn't very large. And we've got some sort of a little house there. Let's see if I can zoom into that. Yep, cool. Again, folks, this is in 1974. This is when the construction began there at Limerick, and then the last of the folks had moved out right in the same year, I do believe. And we'll pitch the gimbal down a little bit. See where we're at. So right over top the village. again, we're going to make sure we're focused. Let's go a little further here. 790 feet, 805 feet. I see a field over here. Let's see what this is. Looks like it's just a field. You have to be careful with these wires. Nope, don't see anything down there. Let's turn the drone around. Got a really good transmission here, no problems, no issue with the breakup. Let's get another vantage point of these houses here. I want to zoom in again. I would love to go down. You know, I do like to tap that to make sure we're in focus. I do like to get down low and really do some exploring, but I'm just not willing to risk having something happen because this area is heavily gated off. When I bring the drone back, I'll show you what I mean. And there's a camera actually, right, I'm probably on camera right now. There's a camera up on a pole above me looking for trespassers. I just wave and say hi to the camera since I'm not doing anything wrong here. Just flying a drone. Before you say, oh, you can't fly a drone near a nuclear power plant, well, you actually can. The FAA just issues an advisory saying you probably shouldn't. I'm not going to fly over there above the nuclear power plant. I'm just going to stay in this area right here. That's the parking lot down there, and I'm actually right down there. You can see we'll point the camera down. There's me down there. You can zoom in. Actually, we already were zoomed in somewhat. Zoom back out. It's one thing you got to keep in mind whether you're zoomed in, because if you're zoomed into something, it doesn't give you your real vantage point. You don't, the drone, you don't actually know how far the drone is from you. Let's spin around this way. You can see there's the houses that are right there. I'm going to bring the drone down. Let's bring it over toward me, right above me here. And we'll just fly down low, and I'll show you some of the signs they have so I can hear it right at the top. Bring it down. Where are we here, drone? There it is. Looking up at it. Boy, this is really doing well. One thing I want to do is, let's test. Let's bring it over toward me a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to bring it above me. Bring it on down. Let's push the camera up a little bit now. I want to test the downward facing light. Let's bring it over toward me here. Bring it down. The optical avoidance works, you can see that. Let me see, how do I turn on that light? Let's see here. I don't know how to do that. All right, let me bring it up a little bit. Stop beeping at me. Avoidance, advance. Oh, there it is. I just saw it. And we are on. Wow, that's pretty bright, actually. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but that is bright. Yeah, nice. Okay. Let me turn it back off. We'll just turn it to auto. Let's bring it over here. I'm going to slide it that way a little bit. Hello. We'll bring it this way. You can see these are some of the houses here that are outside the exclusionary zone. There's that
Nice little brick house there. Let's raise up the gimbal a little bit there so you can see it. And then we have one that's over there. Lower the gimbal a tad. You can see that one. Now you can see what they have there. Gee, folks, do you think maybe they don't want anybody going in there, perhaps? You can see that. No question about that. Now, we may take a tour of this place back, you know, when they had the tours. It'll be in the summertime. This is late April. It's April 27th. I believe it's in June they have a tour. I think they may have one a couple more times in the summer. Let's back up a little bit so you can get this house in view. I'm not sure you're going to be able to get the entire house. Well, actually, let's zoom. Be sure we're zoomed back out. So there you go. All right, there's that house. One of the houses of Frick's Lock. All right, let's bring it back here. I have, how much battery do I have? 36%. And we'll go around this way back toward my truck. All right, folks, I call that a successful test. That'll do it for this video. As always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment on it. Folks, you take care now. And also, if you'd like the content of the channel, don't hesitate to subscribe to it and hit that thumbs up symbol there. It's going to let you know when I upload another video. Folks, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.